Recorded Books presents an unabridged recording of Ride the Hard Trail, a Ralph Compton novel by David Robbins, narrated by Kevin Orton and directed by Rob Granis.
Chapter 1. They were night and day. The older brother had neatly combed hair the color of straw. He was wide of shoulder and narrow of waist, and rode with his back straight and his blue eyes alert. His clothes were those of a cowman, a high-crowned hat and cowhide vest, both brown, a green homespun shirt, and denims. The younger brother had a shock of hair as black as a raven. He was thin and sinewy, and rode slouched in the saddle, half dozing. His hat was black with a deep crease and a wide brim. His shirt was blue. He also wore denims. The dust that caked their clothes and mounts testified to the many miles they had ridden. The blond brother rode a palomino, or buttermilk, as they were sometimes called. The black-haired brother rode a zebra dun. The trail they were following across the prairie was marked with hoof prints and wheel ruts. Presently, it brought them to the top of a hogback sprinkled with sage. Drawing rein, the older brother pushed his hat back on his head and bobbed his square jaw at a cluster of buildings a quarter of a mile off, nestled at the foot of the Bighorn Mountains. "Yonder is a settlement. We'll stop there for a spell, Chancy." The younger brother looked up and frowned. "A gob of spit in the middle of nothing. We came all this way, and for what, Lin?" Lin Bryce sighed. The crow's feet around his eyes crinkled as he tiredly rubbed them. "You know as well as I do why, and you would do well not to remind me." Chancy's frown deepened. "I hate it when you take that tone. You're not Pa." "If he were still alive, we would not be here," Lin said wistfully. "We would still be on the ranch. Ma would be her old self, and it would all be as it was when we were young." "You live too much in the past, big brother," Chancy said. "It's now that counts." "You never think of him? Of how things used to be?" Chancy yawned. "Why live yesterday all over again? What's done is done. He died and Ma died and we lost everything and are drifting God knows where." "We need not have drifted," Lin said harshly. "Don't start. I'm not in the mood. I'll be damned if I'll listen to another of your lectures." Chancy gigged the zebra dun. Lin clucked to his buttermilk and followed. He studied the buildings as they drew near. Most were so shabby they looked fit to blow away with the next Chinook. The exceptions were a general store and a saloon. Horse and pig droppings littered the short street. Lin brought the buttermilk to a stop at the hitch rail in front of the general store. Chancy had already dismounted and gone in. As Lin alighted, an elderly man in an apron appeared holding a yellow dog by the scruff of its neck. "When will you listen, you ornery mongrel?" Setting the dog down, he gave it a hard shake. "Stay out of my store. I won't have you underfoot, and I don't want your fleas." With that, he kicked the dog in the backside. Yelping, the animal ran off. Chuckling to himself, the man smoothed his apron. "Are you as friendly to strangers?" Lin asked. The man started. "I didn't see you there, mister. And no, as a general rule, I don't kick people." "Where might I be?" Lin asked. "Wyoming?" Lin waited. And when no more information was forthcoming, he remarked, "You're downright comical." "Be specific. I can educate you, but I can't make you think, and you don't want to go through life with a puny thinker." Chuckling, Lin strode around the hitch rail. "I take it back. You're not comical. You're a philosopher." The man smiled and offered his bony hand. "Abe Tucker, what might your handle be?" Lin hesitated. He noticed the color of the man's suspenders. "Gray," he lied. "My name's Lin Gray." "Well, Mr. Gray," Abe said, encompassing the hamlet with a sweep of his bony arm, "this here is Mason. It's named after an old trapper who lived in these parts nigh on 40 years. We have a population of 15 if you count that dog." Lin gazed out to the southeast. Out over the rolling grass.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?